Welcome to SiteSpect Mobile App Testing, Part 2, a deeper dive. In Part 1, we discussed how this is completely unique to SiteSpect. You can make instant changes to your apps. There are no SDKs at all involved, no new app builds, no resubmissions to the App Store. All of these changes can happen immediately without any of that, the need for any of that. We also briefly covered the three ways in which you can do app testing within SiteSpect. So number one is transforming API responses for app consumption, i.e. Response payloads, JSON, XML. We can also transform customer API requests. So the request going to your app server, we modify that. We can modify the request path, the parameters, and even the request payloads. And then last but not least, we have feature flagging as another option where you're actually making calls to SiteSpect RESTful APIs, and it's returning basically a set of feature flags. Okay, so this is how we're going to take a look at the first one in depth here. So this is how we transform the response payload from your API call. So the traffic is actually routed through SiteSpect via DNS. So all the traffic is proxied through SiteSpect. SiteSpect then requests the JSON or XML or whatever the object is you're trying to retrieve from origin. It then transforms and modifies the actual JSON payload with any of the desired changes for testing. The app then consumes that modified content and it reflects the desired experience. Here's an example of a payload where we're actually just modifying a particular key value pair and turning on and off a feature. So you can see the mega menu there. So 50% of the traffic will have the mega menu hidden, for example, or 50% will have it visible. So that's how just kind of a super simple example of feature flagging and toggling. Okay. Now let's go take a close look at option 1 in action. So the tool set is using this thing called HTTP Toolkit, right? And what it does is it captures all of the traffic coming in and out of the application. We're using Android Studio to simulate the app. And then the other component is we have the actual experiment that we're configuring in the SiteSpect dashboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually intercept and change the response to this particular API call. Okay, so it's going to cache.dominos.com and it's asking for a JSON structure which is going to power the news feed. And what we're going to do is we're going to modify a couple of things in that. We're going to change the title slides. So we're looking for, we're going to change the title. So we're looking for this particular text, and then we're going to replace it with this. So that's one change that we're doing, and of course you can do as many as you want. And then we're going to swap out the image. So this is the image that it's using currently, and we're going to actually change that to another image. All right. So as you can see here, this is the call. Here is the response from the application server. We know it routed through SiteSpect because we can see the RTSS header. All right. And then if we look here closely, we've actually replaced the original strings that were in here. So let's take a quick look at the application and see what it looks like. So we come in here, we go to the news feed, we click here, and look at that. Domino's selects SiteSpect for all of its web and mobile CRO needs. Thanks for joining.